the legal meeting to order, December 30th. The members are Mr. Larverdane, Mr. Goins, Mr. Silver. The first matter on the agenda to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract for utility pole use between the city and Kentucky Data Link. Mr. Murcott, I'll give you 30 seconds, sir, to briefly tell us what's going on.
Yes, sir. Kentucky Data Link has applied to the city for permission to use existing municipal infrastructure for construction of a third-party fiber optic communication line. It's actually accessed under the Consumer Communication Choice Act that we've all much maligned down here before, that we have to grant them. We're essentially exercising our right to charge a fee for that privilege.
Have you come up with a fee?
$25, just like we proposed in all the other contracts, which is consistent with the state statute that all the fees have to be level for all players.
Okay. You can't go on number of poles they use? I mean,
it's $25 per pole.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, but if one is using thousands and thousands of poles and one of them is using 3?
No, sir, it has to be levelized.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Need a motion?
I move.
Second. It's been first, it's been second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries. The next matter on the agenda, item number 2, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Central Oklahoma Transportation and Parking Authority to acquire 2 trolley buses. Administration? 30 seconds, sir.
30 seconds?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Oh, okay. I'll give you a little bit more time.
Time's up.
Spirit of Oklahoma.
Hey, you did it, Pat.
Excuse me, Spirit of Oklahoma.
Thanks,
Spirit of Alexandria.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
These are trolleys, 2,000 trolleys that are, we've been networking with other transit agencies throughout the 6-state region that we belong to, in Oklahoma City came forth with these trolleys. And if you go out on the open market on these trolleys, they run you about $125,000. We're getting them for about $15,000 a piece. We're using them in the transit system. They will be actually fixed route buses. We can also use them on special events. We cannot designate them for that, but we can use them on special events. These are all, as you can see, there's a little bit of maintenance that's needed on them on the wood. We've ordered, or will be ordering, some stain and varnish for them. The polishing on the inside and the seats. Rick, Mr. Tompkins, and myself and the shop foreman flew to Oklahoma City. We looked at them, put them on the rack. Any leaks and issues we had with them, Oklahoma City fixed them for us. They're ready to go as soon as we get an approval from the council and a letter from the mayor of acceptance. Probably within 5 to 6 days we can have the trolleys here. And of course we have to paint them and stain them, but that should all be done within 30 days.
Are you going to continue with the color red?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
With our insignia and everything else on it.
Yes, sir.
And who will be driving these buses?
City bus operator.
Okay.
You have any routes set up?
We're looking at some routes. We could put them on the fixed routes we currently have. We just remove one bus and put the trolleys on, and then also some downtown routes that we're looking at.
Within those downtown routes, so you plan to, along with administration, plan to put together maybe a plan for marketing and tourism and those methods?
We could use them for all that. And most of the routes we have already go through a lot of the districts, you know, that we can use them. We got buses going to the malls. We got buses in the Garden District now. We got buses going to the hotel motels. So we cover a lot of areas. England.
Zoo.
I think if we,
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Any other comments?
The ballparks.
Okay.
I think I have one comment. I think
Go
if
ahead.
we can energize our conventions business, what we have and what we hope to acquire down here, then it'll be at an estimable value because it'll be something to talk about when people come to town.
I definitely agree with that.
I therefore recommend that we accept that.
Okay.
I agree with that also. It's over the years we've had numerous times, as Mr. Lamont can attest to, that we've needed bus service for either a convention or a function or something like that, either in or around the city of Alexandria, and we never have been able to provide it. And with these bought outside of the UMTA grants, I think we'll be able to do that now.
Well, we assume, and you're right, we'll be able to do it.
Any other comments, questions?
Just wanted to commend Mr. Lamont. We talked about this several years ago.
Yeah, it's been about a 2-year project.
And you said that you would not forget.
Nope.
And you have not forgotten.
Nope.
I think it's a
We
great
gotta
buy
find the
for
right opportunity, and we were very fortunate.
It's a great buy for us,
Yeah,
and I
very
think it's going to be
fortunate.
good for us.
Oklahoma City had to get rid of them, and they wanted them badly to get rid of them, so we jumped on.
Must have.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
they did.
Thank you,
Either we got
sir.
a great deal or they got a great deal.
Repeat that, sir?
Are they closed or open?
No, they're all closed.
They're all
It's all glassed in.
You have to be fully clothed to be on.
Fully enclosed, air conditioned, wheelchair lifts.
Perfect. Any other questions or comments? I need a motion.
So moved.
And let me just need a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you for the report, sir. Item number 3. To consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a written cooperative endeavor agreement with Family Counseling Agency for the support of community programs and services related to domestic violence incidents within the city. Administration.
Mr. Lawberdane, this is a cooperative endeavor agreement to support the Family Counseling Agency with the programs that they provide. Most of their programs are related to domestic violence. They provide emergency sheltering, and then they also do other aftercare services for those clients that they see as related to domestic violence. I'll answer any questions you may have.
How much money will that entail, ma'am?
This actual agreement is for $2,000.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the audience, from the board? Need a motion? It's been first, it's been second. All in favor, vote aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you for your report. Item number 4 on the agenda, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a lease agreement with certain immovable property with StarTech USA. Administration.
Good evening, gentlemen. Mr. Laverdine, at this time, the administration is asking that we delay that matter for 2 weeks. There is a survey that needs to be done on that property. There are approximately 450 non-designated parking spaces. We'd like to have a survey done so that we can determine exactly who can park where on that property, and we just ask that you delay it for that 2-week period so that we can attach that to the contract.
Thank you.
What are we on, the month-to-month now, Mr.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. The most recent lease with StarTech expired, I believe, at the end of November. So we're just going month to month under the same terms and conditions as the old contract. This new contract is exactly the same as the old one, except that I want to have that survey in there that delineates the parking spaces, because currently the people from StarTech just park everywhere, and some of the other tenants have voiced some concerns. Part of that building, as you know, is owned by Petron. I couldn't think of the name of the energy company. Petron. There's a gym also over there, and we just want to make sure that everybody's parking is properly designated, and I'd like that as part of the contract.
All right. Chuck, any questions? Any comments? Did you raise your hand? Okay.
No, I was scratching my nose.
Need a motion that we did not? Been first and been second. All in favor, vote aye. Motion carries. We'll deal with that matter in 2 weeks, sometime in January. The 5th item on the agenda, to consider final adoption of the ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a written cooperative endeavor agreement with Alexandria Alumni Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi to make provisions for the city's youth participation in the 2009 Kappa Basketball League to be held January through March 2009. Administration.
Good afternoon, Mr. Lawberdane. This is a cooperative endeavor agreement, and we would just ask that you would consider that. This is, I think, the 3rd year that they are providing this service to our city's youth through the basketball league. They do several different things. One of them is, of course, they have the league. They also do recruiting of qualified coaches. They also provide scholarships to at least 10% of those participating in the league.
Any
About how many
questions?
kids participate?
You know, I looked for that number, and I couldn't find it in their actual application, but I could look for that again and try to find it.
It's probably over 100 because
Probably over
it's
100.
wide range of kids. I know a lot of folks have participated.
I thought it was a fairly large number.
It is very large.
I would like
About 500.
500. I just want the public to know that, and what is the expenditure for this?
It's up to $7,500.
And you got 500 kids? I think it's a pretty good deal.
It's one of the few leagues that we have in the city.
It's a good program. It's been established for several years.
As a
Any
child,
questions?
I had the privilege of participating with the Capital League, me and my fellow neighbors. So
Going, baby Shaq over there, huh?
you know,
He still pledged out for them.
Don't hold it against him. Thank you for the report. Need a motion?
so moved.
Need a second? It's been first, it's been second. All in favor, vote aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Is there any other business coming for legal? Legal committee is adjourned. Thank you.
Okay, with your permission, we'll go right into the Economic Development Committee. Those members are Mr. Johnson, Mr. Goins, those at the head table, as well as myself. The first item is listed as 10 in the book, and James Branch will bring us up to date concerning the agreement with Blue Line.
Yes, Mr. Silver, this allows us to continue accommodating development and issuing permits. It's a plan reviewer, which position was vacated with Kobe Coulon leaving, and we need to be able to do this, like I say, to continue to accommodate development and to issue commercial building permits.
Do you need anyone to develop? Is there someone working with you, says Shirley Brown or something, or is that?
That's correct.
All right, is there any question that you want to direct to Mr. James, or is it anyone in the audience have any question you want to direct to him? If not, we'll entertain a motion that this be considered final adoption.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same. So ordered. Number 2 is 284-10 on the city code for the final plat requirements.
Yes, Mr. Silver, this is to allow developers to provide an irrevocable letter of credit in lieu of a surety bond, to allow us to be able to issue them building permits for structures prior to complete infrastructure installation. The problem is with the surety bonds right now with the bond market, they're not being able to obtain them. Therefore, the letter of credit they have requested in lieu of that would protect us in case infrastructure was not completed.
This is for moderate homes and affordable housing, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Any questions you wish to direct to this matter? If not, we'll entertain a motion that this be, final adoption be accepted, proposed at the meeting. Second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, number 3, Chuck Johnson, and this is in reference to Dudley Venture Development. I think we may have some modification on that. Do you want to speak first, Mr. Johnson?
Actually, Mr. Silver, I was going to ask the council to take a brief recess. I just received a fax from the United States Bankruptcy Court in reference to this matter, an order, and I'd like to explain it to the council before we go further. I just got it. It's time 3:09 p.m. So if we could take a 5-minute recess.
Do you mind if we have a recess of this committee? We'll go and meet and then come back here.
No, we won't do that.
Let's do it.
Won't go meet.
We're not meeting though, Harry.
We had a cover up last week.
While we're waiting for Mr. Johnson to come down from upstairs, we'll go on with ours. We have the third point, which is a third point on our agenda concerning the Dudley Venture Development, and I think that you're recommending a substitute motion, is that right?
Mr. Chairman, I have a substitute motion to introduce an ordinance to authorize the mayor to enter into a contract with Dudley Ventures Development, LLC, to perform a study and obtain information relative to the highest and best use for the Riverfront Center, Hotel Bentley, Alexandria Fulton Hotel, and Convention Center, and related properties in the city for convention, tourism, and other long-term uses and improvements, with funding up to $250,000 from available community development funds.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? Yep, sir?
This
What the hell did he say?
takes unanimous consent.
To consider it, would take, you consider it first, the motion is made, you then have to ask for public, if there's any public comment, then you have to have unanimous consent to put it before.
Unanimous consent before we get the general public to respond, or
No, you have to right now ask if there's any public comment,
any public comment?
then a motion for unanimous consent.
Entertain a motion that we accept this resolution, or the substitute motion by unanimous consent. Do I have a motion to that effect? Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Those in attendance, do you agree? Say I do. We're waiting for Mr. Johnson to give us a report from the Horton bankruptcy, is that right?
Yes, sir.
I'm sure it's a loosely catched type of a rendition.
It is. Mr. Silver, as I said previously, I just received from the United States Bankruptcy Court an order authorizing the appointment of a manager for the Fulton Hotel property, and I'll just summarize it for the council briefly. The court is going to appoint BK Fulton Management, which is a company which is owned by Mr. Fred Rosenfeld, to manage the property for the next 90 days. The court has authorized what we call debtor-in-possession financing from Capital One. Debtor-in-possession financing is essentially just money to allow a business to continue to operate while it's in bankruptcy, to pay the employees, to buy supplies, food, equipment, that type of stuff. The court has also authorized the sum of $15,000 per month to BK Fulton Management as a management fee, and also $13,500 for the United States trustees' fees and other expenses of the debtor, such as attorney's fees. All of that money will be paid by Capital One. That's not taxpayer money. The order also prohibits the debtor from creating any additional debts that extend beyond March of 2009, and basically that's a summary.
What's the effective date of that contract?
It'll be today.
Order?
The order also prorates it for the month of December, so he'll whatever work he did yesterday or next week will be he'll be compensated for that also.
I don't mean that. Is it the 90-day? When does it expire? March 30th?
It just says March of 09 in the order, sir.
March 30th?
There's been no expenses to the city?
It just says March of 2009. There's no specific.
Way to do it. You better get that prepared, because if we're doing something and giving these people time to work on them, we have to know what we're doing. That's
Right. But I want you to understand too, this is an order of the bankruptcy court. This has nothing to do with city contracts. The court can enter into this order whether we approve it or not. It's a measure that's intended to keep the business open while the creditors sort out their various interests during the bankruptcy proceeding.
Mr. Chairman, question. I think Ms. McGill's makes a point, it's 90 days, so that would lead me to believe it's March of 1, am I correct? 09.
March of 9.
Now, this will be no expense to the city?
None at all. All the money is advanced by Capital One.
The only thing that I would ask is that if the court would be kind, if Dudley Ventures is going to do some examining of things, they should have the privilege of availing themselves of looking at the facilities, so that would help them make a value judgment when they're making it, if that's acceptable.
That's something that the city would have no control over. That would be up to the debtor, who technically is still the owner of the property until the bankruptcy is resolved.
The owners of the property, you're talking about Raj and his
Yes,
clients? Well, he'd be
yes.
crazy not to do it. He's trying to sell it to them. Any other questions concerning this? Anything else before the Economic Development Committee? If not, we'll stand adjourned.
Okay, we'll continue on. The Finance Committee will come to order. President is myself, Mr. Silvers, and Mr. Larvadan. We have one item that's to consider final adoption of an ordinance amending the 2008-9 budget to include the 2008 Emergency Shelter Grant, and it's book item number 13.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. This is a pass-through grant that the Office of Community Development receives from the Louisiana Department of Social Services, and we pass it through to the Shepherd Center, and it's $32,500. The Shepherd Center uses these funds. They provide matching funds, and they use these funds to provide for utility deposits, rental deposits, and the first month's rent for clients that are in need of housing for homeless clients. It's a program that we've participated in for a number of years. It's a very worthy program, and it's simply a matter of getting the documents signed before the end of the year. That's why it was urgent to get this one on today's agenda. Any questions?
I recommend that we adopt this.
Okay, it's been second.
Second. Okay, thank you, Mr.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Any other business come before finance? I know we have a major budget amendment, and I think most of members of the committee and the rest of the council would like to have an opportunity to hear, from each department, the reason for amending the budget at this time. So I'm gonna ask at the next finance committee, we may have a little earlier finance and give the opportunity for the questions that any council member would have, that we ask. And Nancy has a copy of the amended budget, so we can get it. Any other business?
And just one thing, as long as at that next finance meeting, can the administration make sure that all department heads are present?
Okay, all right. You guys said this.